and that's the fate of any store owner, of any restaurateur, whatever the word is. If you decide that you're going to start a business, a place of retail, you're going to sell food or whatever, you can expect to have at least an encounter like this happen one time. All right? Usual suspects strike again. This is what happens. Some people in society create things and other people destroy them. And a big deal, a big reason behind the fact that some people like to destroy and other people like to build is possibly historical, possibly because certain people have resentment in their hearts and they don't like things and thus they want to destroy them. And other people take pride in what they have. They take pride in their homes, how they live, their city streets, their community, and so they want to uplift and build it, okay? And that's why you see disparities between certain people, all right? You can scream, it's unfair. You can scream, there's a reason why this is. At the end of the day, you either care or you don't care. And as you could see, those thieves, really, that band of thieves who dined and dashed, don't care at all. The fact, the arrogant, swaggering way that they left the restaurant just really tells you everything to know. They don't care, and they're also not afraid of having any consequences. By the way, this problem could be solved very quickly. It's not like this is an unsolvable problem if you simply enforce the law. That's all you gotta do. If you just enforce the rules that are on the books stringently, and I'm sorry, that would mean a lot more of certain type of people would be in prisons. Okay? You don't want your brothers in prison, maybe don't commit crimes. Now, in this video, it's hard to tell if they are responsible for the fact that the ceiling caved in, but they are clearly at some sort of buffet. It appears that these people have either rented out the building for an event or that they happen to just be at the event. But in this video, it appears this looks like fried rice on the floor. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, wow. They really went nuts. There must have been some sort of dispute that went down and there's fried rice all over the floor. Apparently it's not fried rice, it is ceiling materials that have fallen down. Doubtless due to the exuberance of certain parties at that restaurant. As you can see, the chairs are knocked over. So this is one of two things has happened. Either the chair was knocked over in the haste of the person to retreat from the falling ceiling, or the chair was knocked over in a fight that precipitated the ceiling falling down. So it's hard to tell when you're dealing with, vast groups of certain kind of people who have a reputation at buffets for acting a certain way, how this all started.
Brandon, I got all in your drink.
By the way, I will never be caught dead in a buffet. Okay, the fall of the buffet really should be studied. You know, the Ruby Tuesdays, the Golden Corrals, I'm trying to think of other buffet restaurants. They had their glory day. They had their, time in the sun, but like Icarus, they flew too close to the sun. Okay, that's what unfortunately has happened to buffets. Buffets were too liberal in their mindset. And they didn't have enough rules because buffets started in a time where they kind of realized that most people would come in, they wouldn't take advantage of the establishment, they wouldn't ruin it, they would be hygienic, they would be clean, they wouldn't be like water buffaloes to the watering hole, just trying to force their way in there and get as much as possible and take some home for later. Like I've seen videos of people stuffing their purses, their fake Chanel purses with chicken and biscuits and other things from the buffet. Buffets only work, free-for-all style anything, only works if the people that you are dealing with are not destructive types. Once the destructive types enter, however, once they are enabled and emboldened by society telling them that you can do no wrong and there will be no consequences for your actions, you quickly begin to lose these sorts of institutions, which is why now buffets, I don't even know how they are profitable. Don't even understand how they're profitable. The poor Chinamen that are running these buffets, half the time, because a lot of them are Chinese buffets as well, people go in and they're like having a panic attack. And then the last time I went to a buffet was when I was lifeguarding, and a bunch of us went to the Chinese buffet. And we were like, we're going to go to the Chinese restaurant, and we're going to get like a plate of food or whatever. as normal people would do. Maybe go up for seconds if you're feeling really bold. And we were accosted as if we were entering North Korea. Now, keep in mind, this was North Myrtle Beach. So if you know anything about Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, the demographics at certain times of the year sway and tend to certain directions, okay? So we went in there, enjoying our time. It's immediately the Gestapo. Immediately it is North Korea levels of watchfulness. There were little, the tenders of the table. They were there. They had their gloves on. They looked like they were primed for a fight. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're not here to cause any trouble. They had their little skewers. They had everything. They were ready for it. And they were very strict. You can't go up. How many plates have you had? And mind you, we had like one plate. Okay? I think some of the boys at the table got seconds or whatever. That was it. That's how we all now have to live, thanks to certain people who come in and take advantage. They start fights. They take advantage of the buffets. They try to steal and take tons home. And now you have limits on it. Now you have limits. Now you have guards at the buffet table. And now you feel shame if you go up for dessert. Or you first start off with your salad and then you come back and then you get your main and then you go back and you get your dessert. That's normal. That's like a normal 3-course meal. Now they will shame you. They will look at you like, you greedy pig. If you go up and you're like, I'm just here for the salad. I'm not getting extra. I promise you. I'm not taking advantage of the shellfish here. And that's how we get. Same with retail. You go shopping now, you get looked at and accosted and followed around the store as if you're going to steal something. Not because you're going to steal anything, but because, and they know you're not going to steal anything, by the way, when you walk in and you're like this. But for fear of seeming racist, they have to follow everyone around now. Now they got to look at everybody suspiciously because they have to be fair, right? So thanks for that. Thanks for ruining literally everything. No more going to the buffet. Not that I ever took delight in going to a buffet, but I have fond memories, like once or twice when my grandparents would be like, get in the Cadillac, we're going to the buffet. By the way, both of those things, the Cadillac brand and the buffet, have both been decimated. But back then, it signified like middle class that really kind of wanted to be a little flashy. We're going to go to the buffet in the Cadillac. And now those two things, wow, have two completely different meanings than they used to have. But anyway, that's the show, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.